Hi guys, welcome to our podcast. My name is Mayowa Adeosun. I'm the co-founder, chief operating officer at Sycamore. And today I have a very special guest, one of our own, and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Onyinye Okonji, CMO Sycamore.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So I think to kick things off, I want to give the audience a chance to get to know you. Of course, as we continue, we'll obviously get into one or two things, but give us an introduction of yourself and how you came to be here at Sycamore. Your backstory.
Okay. So my name is Onyinye Okonji. You want my biodata and all of that?
Let's go back to the genesis. Let's go back to from what you studied at school, and what path did you walk to get you to where you are today?
Okay, I can't say that it was like an intentional path.
Okay.
But so I studied psychology in school. My mind was fixed on being a child psychologist.
Interesting.
Yeah. Child psychologist. Somehow I delved into CIPM in year one. So I thought, industrial organizational psychologist. In my mind I was abroad because we have them as HR managers here.
Yes.
I just, in my mind I was like, I must use this psychologist named Sha. And,
Okay.
So yeah, that gave me the background to just kind of be more empathetic and sort of drill down to understand how people behave, how their mind works, and see patterns in behavior and just sort of make quick assessments of people.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're nodding because you can see that.
I have to attest when it comes to people and relating with people, you're one of the best.
Thank you.
You have just that genuine ability to be able to read people and also to bring the best out of people. So is that something that you does that come from your psychology major, or is that something that you feel is just like intrinsic to you? Like
I think it's a mix of both, more on the intrinsic side, because they don't teach you how to be empathetic. They just teach you how to understand people's behavior. So I'm the one that goes the next mile to be, put myself in this person's shoes and understand why they're behaving like this and how come, whatever characteristic or result comes out of that behavior.
Excellent. Okay, so let's fast forward slightly. So after school, what then happens?
So after school, NYSC, obviously I did that.
Where did you do that? Okay.
In the village. City
Uh-huh.
girl like me, spent 3 weeks in Oka, and then I'm like, time to go home. And then they say, we are going to one deep forest type village in a hill on a mountain somewhere far away.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. It was, because I'm not from a village naturally. I'm from Asaba. Asaba is a town. And I've been there, maybe I can count on one hand before at that time. It was different. But I think what made me stay, I met the children, the students I was meant to teach.
Yeah.
And I had already made up my mind that 3 days here I'm out. But somehow I just got drawn to them. Till today, they still message me on Facebook. I still interact with them. Yes, on Facebook. But I met them and I just said, some people have survived 1 year here. Why not? There was literally no indoor plumbing, no lights, no water, no nothing. It was village back in
how did you survive?
1800s.
What did you have to tap into in order to be able to survive and get through and even endure that 1 year?
I don't know. I think it was God's grace really, because I was like, Mayowa. I said I met them and I was like, just take 1 day at a time.
Yeah. And
we went for Christmas break, came back, and then started 1 day at a time. Water was supplied by them. They would go and fetch if it wasn't raining. So we were literally using rainwater to have our bath and all of that. It was oh God.
An experience.
It was an experience. But at the end of the day, I was very grateful for that experience, because you have to be able to take yourself out of your comfort zone to be able to learn new things.
Agree.
And the air is fresh.
Mm.
The air was fresh, the food is fresh, and it's
Tell me about it.
cheap.
Okay.
It's super cheap. And so if you're not being superficial,
Yeah.
you would it was a character building experience for me. I remember having so much time to be reflective and think about what I wanted in life, and study for my CFM exams, and interact with people, connect genuinely with people who I don't really talk to right now, but but that's fine. So that was a very big character building experience for me in NYSC.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what were you teaching in that period? English. Look, see, if you don't know Onyinye, let me just tell you now for free. Onyinye is how can we even describe? What can I
don't know.
But pretty much, yes. English is her passion, is her love, and she can do it for free, which is excellent. That's why we love her here.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
That's great. So NYSC. We're just going over the history of how you came to be, and we'll still talk about where we are now and what you see going on in the future. But okay, so we're now at your NYSC days.
Yeah, post NYSC.
So after NYSC, so what's going through your mind? Most people that are finishing NYSC, that they're still very young, very green, enthusiastic. They have the world is their oyster. What's going through your mind, and what kind of steps are you looking to take at that time?
So what's going through my mind was to come back to my job in Lagos. I had a job before I went for NYSC.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any great dreams there. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I didn't. I literally wanted to take it maybe 2 years max at a time. So I wanted to go back to my old job and then finish NYSC, do my induction, and then see what's out there for me if I was going to change jobs.
Yeah.
I did change, and it was actually on reference from my former employer.
Okay.
So rent money.
Yeah.
That at the time was
I think I've heard of them before.
Rent money was just came to town at the time.
Okay.
And one of my former employer, she messages me to say, that this is an opportunity that she would like me to take.
Okay. So how long was that after NYSC? Was it immediately or what? Can you remember the time period after finishing NYSC? And
it was within 2 years.
Within 2 years.
Yeah, it was within 2 years. So you see what I said about taking it a chunk of time, a chunk at a time, basically.
Yes.
So I got that. I went for the interview. I passed. Got in.
Excellent.
And this whole financial journey started from there. We did a lot of trainings in the early days. Thank you, Aramide. And then I spent maybe 6 months, and then I got poached to start another company, which is now Page.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was pioneer at Rent, and then at Page. I stayed for 4 years.
Okay. How long were you at Rent Money for?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. So 6 months. They saw the talents. We need to have this young, educated, experienced lady at our company. At I guess you can call it a startup, right?
Yes,
Page was a startup at that time.
Yes, it was a startup.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Page Credit. Anyways, let's move on from that.
Yes. So okay, excellent. So how does it tie in? The psychology, the English, the love for English. It definitely had to give you an edge in some sense or the form, because I feel, based on your sales experience, understanding people seems to be quite important, and I think that's where you have the advantage, right? So maybe touch on that a little bit. How do you tie it all in? How do you make it all make sense, in terms of delivering good service? It's a good service.
I think for me, it's really about reaching out to the person, not thinking about the person as a statistic or a customer. but thinking about the person that, oh, Mayowa, you are Mayowa, so let me know what's going on with you. You know, you come to me for, you know, I need to process a loan for you. I need to understand what it means to you, because money is just money.
Yeah.
But people tie a lot of emotions to it, so it's emotional.
Yeah.
I need to know how emotional it is to you. What it means in terms of, is it a hospital bill you're trying to pay? Is it business you're trying to start? Is it working capital you're trying to extend?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you at the time? And that way I can, you know, I mean, I'm still going to go through the entire process in the company, right?
Yeah.
But it helps me to, you know, empathize and to be able to have talking points with you. Because if we process the loan and you get it, it's approved, I can check back with you to say, oh, how's that, you know, business deal?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
what's going on with it? It's an experience, really. So the tying everything together makes me able to give whoever is on the other side a good experience.
Great. So 6 months ran money. You went on to do another experience in a financial service. What made you want to go back to school and further your education? What was the decision process going through your mind at that time?
I think I had gotten to a point where I was, you know, really just doing the same thing every day. So that routine was getting a little dull for me, right? And I was good at it, but I wanted more. You know, there has to be a point where you get a pivot and then, you know, change and just accelerate. And that's what I wanted. So I left in 2016 and I entered LBS in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a great experience. That's where I met you, obviously,
Right,
and that's where I
that's
met Tunde as well.
Tunde,
So
yes.
that was like a God ordained time in my life.
Right place, right time. And I mean, talk to us about it. I mean, some people that have been wanting to know about the MBA experience at LBS. I mean, from your perspective, somebody that, you know, doesn't come necessarily from a business background, did you find the classes entertaining? Did you find them informative?
I found them tough initially. Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. Which classes did you find most enjoyable and why?
MC, that was
Management
communications.
Okay, yes.
I found it very interesting because we had to do this Harvard course.
Yes.
And it was lengthy. It was so much to put. But sometimes when I'm communicating now, it's points from there I remember.
So, yes.
I also found business risk to be very interesting. I think because I was a little underestimated in that class. And, you know, I found it very interesting that, you know, there was some sort of confluence of academic expertise and like industry. Yeah. And I could talk from an industry perspective because been there, done that for how many years, and you know, so it was. I think I clashed a little with my faculty at the time, and he kept on, you know, no, this is not what. I'm like, well, this is what it is.
Hold on, I have the experience.
Exactly, I mean, you know,
it's not theoretical.
Exactly. So yeah, but so I'll go back to initially. It was very tough because of a personal experience, but after a while, it was such an enjoyable experience. I got to do all the things I set out to do. Right. I wanted to mix my experience with some sort of having some international exposure. I got that. Okay.
Do you want to talk about that a bit more?
Okay. So at LBS, you can opt to get your final semester abroad. You can choose what school you want to go, as long as it's within their range of schools.
Yeah.
I opted for ISEG in France. Okay. And that was
where in France?
Lille.
Okay.
Lille is north of France. It's far north of France. It's more like in Belgium.
Wow.
Yeah, but so it was good. It was a good experience. And
what's the food like? What's the weather like? What's the environment like?
it was very quiet.
It's definitely not Lagos, right?
Oh Lord, it was super quiet. You could talk when we got there, because I went with my cousins. We got there and I could hear sounds like resounding.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Wow.
I'm like, no. This can't be right. This can't be right. Did I pick the right place? I should have maybe go to Paris or something. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly because it was a different experience. That's what I wanted. I wanted the international exposure. I wanted the cultural immersion. Yeah. Everything I wanted. Was
you
there.
to
ticked all the boxes. Yeah.
Excellent.